The one thing most men seem to be naturally proficient at changed my life when I finally mastered it a few years ago. It's been a huge part of how I maintain my inner peace. If you're new here, my name is Maria, and this is your channel for creating a calm and balanced life. And yes, we are going to talk about the physical side of self-love today. I think it's very important for maintaining inner peace and creating that calm and balanced life, because honestly, a lot of the stress and chaos in my life came from seeking that part of life, the physical pleasure and expansion, in wrong kinds of connections. Just a disclaimer, this video is in no way to discourage you from exploring the experiential, social bonding side of intimacy. However, I find that as we talk, and also on this channel and on my Instagram, I talked a lot about generally approaching life from the perspective of having your own cup full and overflowing, and we talked about various things, about doing things you love and being creative and having friendships and healthy relationships. But I find that having a life where you're physically satisfied by yourself is such a humongous prerequisite to this cup overflow. And I may be here talking as a Venus in Aries. I don't know. Shout out to my fellow Venus in Aries people. I think I'm blaming astrology here. I think for us, this part of existence is perhaps more important than for the rest of the zodiac. I don't know, but I just know that I have tolerated so much stress and chaos purely because I needed that part of my life fulfilled. And so today we're going to talk about transformation that happened when I learned how to love myself in a physical way. And this video is intended mostly for those of us who have a female hardware, because I do know that a lot of us people with female hardware tend to struggle with it. I do firmly believe that even if you do seek to experience physical intimacy in an interpersonal connection, it can save you from a lot of stress and troubles when you do approach it with your own cup overflowing. The biological side of how interpersonal physical intimacy influences us, and without going into too many details, the thing that happens purely on a animal level is that our body releases hormones which make us feel bound to a person oftentimes, and it doesn't happen to everyone and in every situation. However, being aware of it really helps me throughout the years, and I could feel like sometimes, I'm feeling this wave of something, but I also know where it's coming from. And when we talk about building a life where you have your inner peace, your calm, your balance, I think the best way I can explain it from my perspective is by comparing it to how I curate my wardrobe. And let's say different areas of having your cup overflow are like different items. Like, for example, your shoes are your hobbies. For example, the physical pleasure aspect is like a winter jacket. And there's a big difference if you already have a winter jacket and then you allow yourself to discover something, to stumble into something, like my ChatGPT put it, a statistical unicorn. And then you can approach it from a position of, I already have a winter jacket, I'm not in need of it. However, this resonates. This is something, this really could add to my life, to my wardrobe. That's very different from winter is coming, I'm going to freeze and I need something urgently, and then you just go and there's this whole rush and you just grab something. And it has also changed the way I view people. it's about focusing on the personality, on the compatibility, on the tone of actually very important aspects which have nothing to do with what someone makes you feel on a hormonal level. And then if that resonates, then it has potential for exploring further. That sparks curiosity rather than surface level attraction. And when you approach people from the position of having your own cup overflowing, you also automatically deter the codependent relationships, which I had a lot of misfortune with in my life. And even like in my last relationship, my ex literally asked me at some point, "Why are you with me? You don't need me for anything. Like you have everything." And I guess that's kind of like this abundant life thing, like I have everything I can wish for. And that's where you realize that people, well, a lot of people approach connections from the perspective of wanting to feel a void inside, for wanting this constant holding on to. I have a bit of PTSD with that. I do feel quite quickly suffocated in this dynamics, and that has almost fully deterred me from ever wanting to explore relationships. But I have been attending to it, I have been working on it, because I feel strong enough that I will sense like this codependent red flags. But yeah, I guess that's the only side effect of fully mastering your self-pleasure, because you think, why would I go through the hassle if I can guarantee to have everything taken care of in the comfort of my own self? But yeah, no, I still, that's been a huge sort of thing for me, and part of my own growing, to still allow for this infinite universe to surprise me. Let's see how that goes. And I do apologize for making this video in a slightly less structured way than I usually approach videos. I've hesitated about creating this and talking about it, because it's still a bit of a subject where a lot of us do like this whole giggly thing, and a bit of a taboo in many social circles. However, I do believe it's something very important to talk about, because only when we talk about things openly and in a civilized way can we truly liberate ourselves and heal and build something meaningful in our life, and make loving yourself in every way a cornerstone of building your calm life. Let me know in the comments if this video resonated, what you think about it all. I'm always happy to hear from you, and I make an effort to read every comment and respond to most of them. Wishing you a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you here next Thursday.